Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 235. Hope you're all doing well and also thinking about those with family and friends in Ukraine. Hope your loved ones are safe. Scary times indeed. If you want to donate, by the way, to Ukrainian charities or global charities like Red Cross or UNICEF and such, I wrote an article for USA Today on Thursday that you can find online by Googling words like Ukraine, donations, USA Today, and you'll find my list of ways to contribute. All right, we have a stellar show planned for you this hour. We're going to start off with what's new from Amazon and its Blink family of video cameras for both the outside and inside of your home and video doorbells as well. After that, how to get a completely free second phone number on your existing smartphone with an app called TextNow. And if you want cell phone service in the US, it's only $1 until March 1st at least. And that's not $1 per month, but a one-time cost to get that SIM card from them. Wow. So we'll get to TextNow on this program. Also on the show today, big screen TVs with LG, and I do mean big. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out, powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. I'll tell you more about ASUS shortly, but let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. Security cameras and video doorbells are some of the more popular categories when it comes to smart home tech. They're often easy to set up, relatively inexpensive, and you can understand the importance of being able to keep an eye on your home, even when you're not there. You're probably familiar with the Ring family of devices, but also owned by Amazon is another line we're going to hear about now called Blink. Joining us on the line is Mike Harris, Chief Operating Officer for Ring and Blink at Amazon. Hi, Mike. Thanks for your time.
Hi, thanks for having me today.
Sure. Before we talk about Blink's cameras, smart home tech is super hot, as I alluded to in my introduction. Why do you think that is?
I think it's a number of things. It starts with awareness. I mean, people know about smart home now, right? They see it at their neighbors' houses. They see it in movies and TV. It's in all the stores. So with that, people are aware and they're starting to be interested in it. You now have tons of options from, a number of great companies out there with lots of products. But I think ultimately it comes down to solving specific problems, right? Instead of just smart home for the sake of smart home, now people can go and really say, who's at my front door when I'm not able to answer it? Or, what is that animal that's, under my deck? I want to really find out what's going on when I'm not there. Those are real problems that people are trying to solve, and smart home technology can do that for them.
Yeah. All right. So let's now hear about Blink from Amazon. What's the brand all about, sort of at a high level? And how would this vary or differ from Amazon's Ring family of cameras and doorbells?
So at Blink, our mission is to deliver peace of mind for people. Let them know what's going on at their home when they're not there, or what's happening outside when they're cozying inside. Mm-hmm. It starts with peace of mind. It's also about accessibility and affordability, giving them options that everyone can afford, they can bring in. They're simple to use, really straightforward to set up. So it's a very accessible, product for people who aren't even, necessarily tech savvy or are kind of new to the whole smart home scene.
You also mentioned affordability, which we'll get to a bit later. But again, the prices are dropping, the features are rising. So it's prime for those who haven't yet jumped on board the smart home bandwagon to consider things like video doorbells and surveillance cameras. You touched on them being easy to set up. Could you walk us through the process? Let's say you buy one of the new Blink cameras, and feel free to tell us what the latest models are and how you get them set up. I mean, are they wired? Are they wireless? That kind of thing.
So for us, we have a lot of options available for folks. It starts with, our bread and butter, which is our traditional outdoor cameras. That's what we've made for a long time now. These are cameras that have very long battery life, up to 2 years on a single set of batteries. And setup is straightforward. You download the app, put it on your phone, sign in, create an account, and from there you follow the instructions in the app. You set up the device, following those instructions. If you use a camera, there's, what we call a sync module. That's a little base station that the camera communicates to. You set that up, then you set up the camera, all through the prompts in the app, and you're good to go. With a 2-year battery life, those cameras are great. You can just kind of set them and forget them. You don't have to constantly go recharge. You don't have to do the rest. You can put it in all kinds of interesting places out, hanging from a tree or, under your deck, to chase off those critters. From there, we start with, like I said, cameras. We've now added other cameras. We have our indoor camera, what we call Blink Mini, which is a wired camera that allows people to bring an even more affordable camera, right into their home to keep track of things there. And recently we've added the Blink Video Doorbell, which is, purpose-built camera right for that front door with a, big button on the front to let you know, who's just delivered that package or come for a visit.
So many of us are now shopping online, and we may not be home to accept the packages now that things are thankfully opening up 2 years into the pandemic, and we're getting out more. So it does give you that peace of mind to see who's at your front door, even when you're not there. Does it work in a similar fashion to Ring Video doorbells, where if the courier presses the button and they talk to you, they may even think you are inside when you're not, because you're talking to them through your phone, wherever life takes you? Is that the same idea with the Blink Video Doorbell?
It is the same idea. There's HD quality video, two-way talk, where you can communicate with that person at the front door. Mm-hmm. You can talk to them through your phone. You can talk through them through your Amazon Echo Show. So You have a lot of options there. And that doorbell, it's pretty flexible. It can be wired into your existing home wiring, so it can ring the indoor chime just like your original doorbell that was there, to start. Or if you don't have a doorbell, it's battery operated, so you can put it anywhere, just with a couple of screws.
We are chatting with Mike Harris, COO for Ring and Blink at Amazon. We're learning about the Blink family of cameras and video doorbells. These aren't just for capturing, potentially bad things, right? Like a would-be thief or, as you said, a critter like a raccoon making a mess of your trash. But there are some good images that have been captured on these cameras, some great stories that have been shared online.
Yeah, we're fortunate. Our customers see all kinds of great things, and they're happy to share them with us. So we're able to see, family reunions at the front door. We're able to see, interesting and funny incidents out in the backyard with, kids out sledding and all the rest. At the end of the day, we do get those stories that are serious stories. We've, just recently, we had one of our customers share that, while he was at work at night, he saw an electrical fire, through one of his cameras, and was able to call 911, save his house, save his family. So we get those funny stories. We get those, really heartwarming stories. But, we get the serious ones too. And, that's what keeps us coming back and doing this every day.
What happens if you want to go back in time to see who was at your door, say earlier that day or a previous week or something? You use the app, right? Is that similar to Ring Protect?
Yeah, it's really straightforward. You use the Blink home monitoring app, on your phone, your tablet. Clips are there. They're sorted by, date and time. You can filter them by what camera, whether it was, somebody ringing the doorbell, whether it was a motion detection. Those clips are stored for, 60 days traditionally. You can adjust that. You can delete them. You can share those clips. So it really is very straightforward. So with those clips, you can also, store them in the cloud, or you have the option, with our sync module to store them locally on a USB stick. And so either way, that playback is all through the app on the phone.
One of the things that some Ring customers aren't aware of is that you need to pay for that cloud storage. Like you might get a month for free to go back in time, that is. When it's live and someone rings your doorbell, there's no cost involved. But if you want to go back and see who's at your front door the day before or what time your teenager came home the night before, that you have to pay for that. I called it Ring Protect is the name of the service plan, I believe. Is it similar with Blink, or is there no cost to store your video over time?
At Blink, we really believe in giving our customers a choice on how they go and view their video and what makes most sense for them. So there is a subscription plan that's available, and through that, the video is stored in the cloud. You can access it from anywhere through your app. You have that long-term storage. But we also offer that option, as I mentioned before, where you can store videos locally, just on a USB drive, that thumb drive that you plug into your sync module too. So with that, you do have a choice. And with that, doesn't require a subscription. I think a lot of people, go ahead and for the convenience, subscribe, and that's great. You get, other benefits. There's a plus plan, which, adds extra features. You get extended warranties, you get a 10% discount on top of the other benefits that come with the cloud subscription. But there is ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all about choice and giving our customers what they're asking for.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. And how much does the cloud storage cost if you do want that option?
Yeah, so for a single device, at $3 a month, or you can subscribe for a year for $30. The Plus plan, which gets you unlimited devices, is $10 a month or $100 a year.
Okay, so there is a discount for committing to 12 months instead of going month by month. That's great. And then finally, speaking of cost, Mike, let's hear how much some of your newer Blink devices cost and where we could buy them. I'm assuming Amazon.com.
So yeah, the Blink video doorbell, that starts at $49.99. The Blink Mini I talked about, that's our most popular indoor camera. That starts at $34.99.
Oh, it's great. Very affordable.
Yeah, the Blink Outdoor, that's that 2-year battery life camera that people put all over the place. That starts at $99.99. So we have a host of other accessories that come with that. We have a floodlight camera that adds battery-powered lights, to your outdoor cameras. We have solar panel charging mount. They're available at Amazon.com, of course, and then, tons of retailers.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for your time. Mike Harris has been our guest, Chief Operating Officer for Ring and Blink at Amazon. Thank you again for your time.
Thanks again.
When we return on Tech It Out, how to get a free second number for your smartphone or cell phone service for only $1. Learn how after this short break.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, everyone. This show is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and much more. Head over to asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. And yes, that's how you spell ASUS. ASUS. People say ASUS all the time. It's not ASIS, it's ASUS. So that's the best website to visit, asus.com/US/radio. One of my favorite apps that I tend to write about a lot is called TextNow. And I had the pleasure of visiting their Swank facilities a couple of years ago, BC, or before COVID, or one of their facilities, I should say, because they've got a couple. It's been a while since I've had them on the show, though. So joining us to give us a TextNow 101 and discuss the app, which is available in the US and in Canada, as well as a service that's available in the US, we're joined by TextNow CEO, Derek Ting. Hi, Derek. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Good to have you on the show. I know we sat across from one another a few years ago and did an interview in person, but good to catch up again. Why don't you tell us what TextNow is all about?
Yeah, at a very high level, what we do is we democratize reliable phone service. We make phone service free. Our view is phone service is not nice to have. It's a necessity. We need phone service to get a job. We need phone service to get a COVID test. We need phone service to get a doctor's appointment. So there's all these things we need phone service for. And it's critical to be able to get by in life. And before TextNow came along, the only people they get a phone number from was through these big phone companies that charge you high monthly service fees. So we thought, hey, that's not right. And so then we've gone on this journey to figure out how to make phone service free.
All right. So one of the applications for TextNow is a kind of second number, if you will, on your existing phone. Derek, if you can maybe explain that a little bit. Maybe for those who want a little bit of extra privacy, they don't want to use their main number. And talk to us about some of the applications for this.
Yeah. Just like you think about email, like as an example, like I have a work email, I have a personal email, I have different email addresses for different contexts. Mm-hmm. And that allows me to separate work and personal emails. But you think about it, for a lot of people, that isn't the case for the phone number. They use the same phone number for a bunch of different things.
Sure.
And so what they can use TextNow for is kind of the same idea. Is you can get a second phone number for free on your phone. And a lot of our users that are self-employed or they have a small business and they can't justify spending the high monthly fees for a expensive business phone line, they can download TextNow and use the TextNow number as their business phone line. And when, let's say, their business is closed, they're not accepting any more phone calls, they can actually within the app send it straight to voicemail and then text your customers back the next day while keeping their personal line open. And there's also cases where you just want a second phone number because you're, for example, dating. You don't want to give everybody your main phone number because what if you don't like them? So some people use TextNow for that as well. And it's very useful to just have free phone service that you can get so conveniently.
Yeah, just like a VPN or virtual private network lets you browse the web anonymously, having a secondary number on your main phone also gives you some extra privacy. So I know people who have like a side hustle and they sell things on Craigslist or Kijiji, and they don't want to have their main phone number tied to that. So they also use it for selling things on online classifieds. Anytime you want a little bit of extra privacy or anonymity.
Yeah, that is definitely something you can use TextNow for. And it's very, very convenient, and it's completely free.
All right. So on the app, you set up a second number. And I love that you can choose what city you want to make it look like you're from. And if that area code is available, then you can use that. And you said earlier that it was free, but we're talking about calls over Wi-Fi at this point, right? Not cellular service, which we will get to in a moment. But just to be clear, when you use TextNow over your Wi-Fi at home or at a coffee shop or at the office, then it'll be free, but not when you're walking around town.
Correct. If you just get the app, it works over your existing internet connection, whether it's on Wi-Fi or if you already have a primary phone line that has a data plan attached to it, it will work on your existing data plan. And the app needs internet to work.
Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. I stand corrected. You could be using data on your phone plan to get online. You don't need Wi-Fi only, but it'll use up data though. So as long as you've got a decent plan, you're good.
Yeah. And a lot of our users use us as their primary phone line. Roughly 50% of our users use us as their primary phone line. That means they don't have like a traditional carrier phone plan, like TextNow is their only phone provider. For those users, they use it primarily on Wi-Fi. And then we also have a $1 add-on now. They can actually order a SIM card from the app for $1, and then we mail them the SIM. And then once they put it in, our app will work even outside of Wi-Fi. So for those users, that's an option as well.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And it's something I only recently heard about, and I wrote about it for USA Today. So we'll get to more of that in a moment. In fact, after a short break, we'll learn more about the cell phone option, the service that is. But again, just in case you are tuning in for the first time, TextNow is a free app that you download to your phone that gives you a free either second number, so it'll ring differently, so you'll know which one is your second number on your phone compared to your main one, or some people use it as their primary number. So when we return on Tech It Out, we're going to learn more about TextNow and that cellular option, the service option, not just a free number. So stay with us. We'll be right back with more.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. We are chatting with Derek Ting. He is the CEO of TextNow. This is a company that offers a free app for calls, as well as texts and multimedia messages as well. And they have an optional cellular service in the US that gives you, for as low as $1, you've got cellular connectivity to use, which we'll get to more in a moment. I talked earlier about choosing which city you want to look like you're from. So if you type in like Chicago or Miami or Toronto, it'll find any available area codes and phone numbers.
Yeah, we have phone numbers from literally almost every single area code you can think of. Mm-hmm. So in the app will automatically detect your location and offer you a local phone number. But let's say, hey, you know what? I spend most of my time in Florida in the winter and I want a local phone number to Florida, you can in the app say, hey, look, I want a local phone number in Orlando, Florida, for example, and then you can get that.
What about calling people in another country? How does that work through TextNow, not within, say, North America?
Yeah, so with TextNow, you can always call and text for free in US and Canada, but also you could text to 100 countries for free through the app. You can see the full list of countries on our website. For international calling, we offer really, really affordable rates for more than 200 countries. And you can also check out the rates right in the app, or we also publish the international rates on our website.
Since this is free, how do you make money? Is there a premium option that unlocks additional features, or is it all ad driven?
Both. We have unintrusive ads in the app. They don't really get in the way of text messaging or calling. You see them in the bottom of the app, and that generates the revenue and it supports the free service. And we're completely happy with folks using it for free. And we always try to figure out how to make the free service better for our customers. For the folks that don't want ads, we offer a $9.99 a month option to remove the ads. And we also offer, for the folks that paid $1 for the SIM, we also offer an option to get mobile data as well for $20 a month.
So let's talk about that. All right. If you're listening and you're in the US, you have this option that not only can you download the TextNow app to your iPhone or Android device and use it as a primary number or a backup or secondary phone number over Wi-Fi or over cellular if you already have a service plan with a provider, but you could pay as low as $1, and I think it's only until the end of February, if you can confirm that. You will send them a SIM card to pop into the phone, and then they've got cellular service that they can use unlimited for calls and texts. Is that right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then data, like if you wanted to email somebody something from your phone, that's going to incur data costs, of course. So that's separate altogether.
Yeah. For $1, like one-time fee, you get the SIM card. Talk and text is free, completely free, unlimited and free. And then that means you can use our app anywhere, Wi-Fi or not. You can use our app anywhere. And let's say you want to use Instagram, you watch YouTube, stuff like that, then you can upgrade to our $20 a month plan that gives you data and it also removes the ads for you as well. And then you get that more full experience and be able to use other apps as well outside of Wi-Fi.
So how much will it be after February?
It will be $4.99.
All right, this promotion is going to end soon, so it's going to go from 99 cents to only $4.99 for unlimited calls and texts to order a SIM after March the 1st.
Correct.
Now, before we wrap up and talk about some additional features that we may expect in 2022, if you're willing to pull the curtain back a little bit, Derek, just for those who are listening thinking, well, I already make phone calls for free over WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger or FaceTime, let's just be clear that this is a phone number that you're getting, whereas with these other services, both parties need that same app, but you're not calling a phone number like a local number. That's like app to app.
Yeah. In TextNow, you get a phone number and you can call anyone, text anyone, whether they have the app or not. And it doesn't matter. And right. I think that's the great thing about TextNow is it truly replaces phone service. You don't need phone service once you have TextNow.
All right. So are you able to share what we might expect in 2022?
Yeah. To put it simply, expect more from TextNow for free, because the way we think about our product and our business is a lot of companies figure out new features or new things to charge customers more for. At TextNow, we're thinking about kind of the opposite way. We figure out what new things we can include in our free version. So we will expect to really, really, really up our game and really introduce some things in our free version that will make the free version a lot more interesting. So expect that from us. More specifically, there's also some things that are coming from a technology perspective too. eSIM is becoming a thing, which means that there'll be a world where we don't need to pop a physical SIM card into our phone anymore. There'll be a world where you can actually download the SIM card to our phone. So that's something that we're looking at as well, because it'll make a lot of sense for us at some point in our app. You just install a SIM card for free in your phone and get free phone service. Yeah,
that'd be convenient. That's like an Apple Watch or other smartwatches, just a virtual or eSIM.
Exactly. And that's where the industry is going, and we want to be prepared for that.
All right. So as a call to action, should listeners just download download the TextNow app or go to the website?
They can go to either, whichever is easier. Search for TextNow in the App Store, download our app.
One word.
Free download. You can also check us out at textnow.com if you want to learn more about our service, or check out the SIM as well.
Okay. That's, again, just for U.S. listeners for that SIM, but maybe one day in Canada. As you know, Derek, I'm a huge fan of TextNow. I have been for many years. So keep up the great work. And thanks for carving out some time to chat with us today.
Thanks so much for having me, Mark. It was my pleasure. Looking forward to talk to you again.
You are listening to Tech It Out. I'm your host, Mark Saltzman. If you want to say hi on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. It's Mark with a C, Saltzman with a Z. So it's MarkSaltzman. I write a tech tip of the day. If you like that kind of thing, just a little way to get more out of your tech and save time and money and aggravation in a language you can understand, much like this show. I link to the articles that I write, radio and TV spots that I'm on. I answer your tech questions if you've got them. I know you do. There are contests and giveaways and polls and all that kind of stuff. So I look forward to meeting you online on your favorite social media platform. Again, it's Mark Saltzman. So question for you ahead of our next segment with LG. When was the last time you bought a new TV? If it's been a couple of years, you'll be blown away at how big they're getting. Like really big and super thin. They're getting faster and smarter. Of course, you can access all of your favorite streaming media services through the TV with smarter interfaces, including voice remotes and all that. So we're going to be joined by LG after this short break to tell us what's new for 2022. Stick with us. You are listening to Tech It Out on the Radio American Network. We'll be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are listening to Tech It Out. This show is powered by ASUS, the company that creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes their awesome laptops. They've got a ton of different brands. They've got their VivoBooks, which are stylish, often colorful, sort of everyday laptops. There's the ZenBooks, cutting edge technology, a lot of innovation in there, including dual screens and all this kind of neat stuff, bendable or foldable PCs. They've got their studio books for content creators, expert books for more of a business class PC, extra security, added durability, long battery life and all that, and Chromebooks, which are usually a little bit more affordable, great for students and anyone else with a bit of a budget. But asus.com/US/radio has everything you need. That's asus.com/US/radio. All right, people often ask me what should I look for in a new TV? And I tell them that the biggest trend is size. So big is the operative word there. That is, the resolution is already spectacular, whether it's 4K or 8K. There have been huge improvements to color and contrast and brightness, and TVs today have some serious smarts as well. But if you're itching to upgrade in 2022, go big or go home, or go big at home. Joining us to chat about LG's ultra-large TVs is a friend of the show, Gilles Pereira. He's Senior Go-To Market Manager for Home Entertainment at LG. Welcome back to the show, Gilles. How are you?
I'm great, Mark. Thanks for having me again. How are you doing?
Thanks. I'm well. Let's just dive right in. One of the biggest trends, I would argue, is size. How big are TVs getting now?
Yeah, for sure, Mark. They are getting pretty huge, definitely. So just to clarify, in the industry, when we're talking large screen, we're referencing 70 inches and above. But we actually now have TVs as large as 97 inches, as we saw at CES. We just recently integrated a 97-inch OLED into our lineup, which is absolutely exciting.
Yeah, wow. And of course, throughout this conversation, Gilles, we're not talking about your short throw projectors, which can go even bigger. We're talking screens like displays, right? So with that in mind, talk to us about the different kinds of TVs in LG's ultra large category. Why don't we start with OLED TVs? I guess this is your cream of the crop, if you will.
Yeah, for sure, Mark. I mean, we've been talking about OLED with LG, because we were the first to market in 2013, so the better part of a decade now. Definitely king of the north. And a big part of that is some key things. So it has self-lit pixels, right? So that's going to give you perfect contrast ratio, the viewing angles, right? So everyone in the room has the exact same view of the screen. That's important, right? If you're watching a big game or if you're watching a movie, You don't have to fight for that sweet spot in the room.
Right.
And now that we did offer this brand new size, you can get all the way up to 97 inches. In the G series, we even have an 83 inch in both the G and the C series. So definitely very exciting that you can combine the best of TV technology with OLED and then have it in that huge form factor at 83 or 97 inches.
Awesome. And just to go back to the pixel comment. So with other TV technologies, there's a light behind the pixels. It used to be fluorescent and then it could be LED, but the idea is there's still always a light. So even when the pixel is black, there's still a light on behind that pixel. So it could come off as a bit more gray with some of the, let's call them value brands, other TV makers. But with OLED, when you want to show perfect blacks, you just turn off that pixel, and every pixel is self-illuminating, right? So you don't need that light behind it. So that's one advantage. And secondly, because there's no need for backlighting, because every pixel is its own light source, these TVs are incredibly thin as well. It's like hanging a picture on your wall.
Yeah, and if I can also mention, I think in some ways it's not just the absolute biggest TV, but in some use cases, size would be relative, right? So if we're looking at gaming, for example, I think most of the hardcore gamers on the PCs, they'd be using a monitor, which typically I would say in most cases around 27, maybe even some 32 inches. So very exciting news that we launched a 42-inch OLED at CES in the C series. So, you're talking about a 4K self-lit OLED panel with all of the gaming features that these gamers are looking for, right? Variable refresh rate, G-Sync compatibility, you name it. But in that use case, right, you're sitting 2 or 3 feet from a monitor or a display in an ideal gaming setup. So the pixel density on that TV from that distance is going to be just unparalleled, right? So very exciting from a relatively large screen gaming solution for 2022.
Yeah, awesome. Let's now pivot, Gilles, and talk about QNED or mini LED televisions. What makes these unique? I guess the Q stands for quantum dot.
Yeah, for sure. So let's maybe start there. So quantum dot is a market, let's call it a market technology. So it's not proprietary. Anyone really has access to it. And the LG engineers have been working on combining quantum dot with our own brand of color technology, which we call NanoCell. So that's one piece of the equation. So we've really done a fantastic job combining those two color stories and giving you like a basically unparalleled color reproduction. So accuracy, detail, etc. And then on the other side of the spectrum,
pardon the pun.
Yeah. So the backlight. So now we're talking mini LED. So first of all, the LED itself is a fraction of the size of a standard LED. So you're talking about like a 40th. So because of the new size, you have the ability to put way more of them on the back of this on the TV. So obviously you have more light, you're going to have brighter display. So that's going to be very good for using in a well-lit room. Obviously getting the best detail out of your image and obviously contrast ratio. So all of these things are very important for picture quality leading up to OLED. So it's still not going to be as good as an OLED, given that OLED still does have the self-lit pixel, but it's a very, very good alternative, which until we launched QNED with mini LED.
All right, so closing the gap between these technologies. So that's called QNED mini LED televisions.
Exactly.
A lot more on LG's ultra-large TVs when we return on Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting about LG's ultra-large TVs with Gilles Pereira, Senior Go-To Market Manager for Home Entertainment at LG. You did hint at the phrase NanoCell, which is an LG brand. Talk to us about this exclusive line of LCD TVs that you have.
Yeah, so NanoCell we use in our QNED line, as I just mentioned. And just a quick note, those do come in super large screens. So we have 86-inch models, we have 75-inch models. So basically the sky's the limit with regards to size. But from a price point standpoint, obviously QNED mini LED, very premium, so it's going to be a bit more cost prohibitive than our NanoCell line. So NanoCell is a bit more affordable. Yeah, we have various different size options within that series as well. So we have 75-inch, 86-inch as well. And essentially NanoCell, as simply as I can explain, basically will filter out unpure colors. So basically it acts as a smart eraser, if you want to look at it that way. So anything coming through to your eyeball that shouldn't be there, the nanocell basically will erase it and make sure the end result is that you're seeing the image as close to the original image as possible. And that's, the image from your game console or from your cable box or from the streaming service. So obviously color accuracy being very, very important for overall picture quality and experience. So nanocell kind of addresses that. And obviously on a large screen, it's going to give you a very fantastic kind of cinematic experience with all those features combined.
So all of these TVs, Gilles, are either 4K or 8K, which refers to the resolution. Plus, they also have features like Dolby Vision and HDR10+. That's high dynamic range, and an advanced version of high dynamic range and other screen enhancing features. Is that right?
Yeah, that's definitely correct. So first of all, 4K and 8K, as you mentioned, resolution, how many total color dots are on the screen. And when we're talking about size, the bigger you get, I guess the resolution becomes a more important part of that story because you're looking to get as many pixels per inch as possible. That's where you're going to get the sharpest image. And obviously there's some variables to consider in there, including how far away you're sitting. So if you're looking at an 86-inch TV, why not step up to that 8K resolution? Because then you don't necessarily have to sit as far back, right? So you can be sitting, 5-6 feet away from the TV, upsize from your current, whatever it is, 55, 65-inch TV to an 86-inch. But because of the increased total number of pixels on the screen, you don't necessarily have to sit further back, and you get a fantastic resolution, which is, going to be sharper. It's going to be more accurate, and all of those things that make the overall picture quality kind of pop and become more immersive. And then to your point about HDR or high dynamic range, LG, regardless if you're looking at OLED or QNED, mini LED, or nanocell, we do offer Dolby Vision, which is arguably the best HDR technology in the market right now. So that's just going to highlight and supplement all of those things that we talked about to this point even further. And, they're offering Dolby Vision on all of the major streaming services, right? Whether you're talking about Netflix or Prime Video or Apple TV, whatever it is. So it's not hard to get access to this content. It is everywhere, but you need the right TV to show it because not all brands support it yet. And LG definitely does.
All right. And then just going back to resolution, 4K or 8K, even though there isn't a lot of 8K content right now, those televisions can upscale or upconvert a regular HD or 4K video to near 8K quality by adding extra pixels. So it does look fantastic. Please remind us, Gilles, what ThinkQ is all about and why this feature is worth looking into.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely something that's unique within LG. So I often find it helps to think of ThinkQ as a language. So it's really the LG language. So if I'm on my TV, I can actually use the microphone that's built into my Magic Remote and speak to the TV. I can control it. I can say, change it to this picture mode. I can set a sleep reminder. I can set all these different things just with my voice. But beyond that, and I think this is what really makes it special, is that we speak other languages. So we can speak to Google. We can speak to Alexa. We support Apple. So it's really this holistic kind of ecosystem compatibility. And then in addition to that, outside of the TV world, we can actually connect to our LG appliances, for example. So I can just be in my basement watching the game and I can get a notification, for example, that my laundry is done. So obviously, you don't want the load sitting in the washer for too long. It can start to get a bit smelly. So I can get that pop-up on screen. It kind of prompts me to go up and change my clothes from the washer to the dryer. So it's very, very impressive and kind of a new kind of ecosystem evolution within our LG brand. And last thing, even non-LG products. So I can actually control my smart lights, or I can control my smart vacuum. All of these things outside of the LG ecosystem, I can also control. So it's very, very, very cool.
ThinkQ is spelled THIN, by the way. Where can we go to learn more about these, Gilles?
I would recommend visiting LG.com.
Gilles Pereira, great to chat with you.
Thanks so much, Mark. Great talking to you. Take care.
And thank you for tuning in to Tech It Out. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. I hope you have a great week ahead, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out. Bye, everyone. Cheers.